B1 family, welcome to Black Logic. We're going to just do this video now versus later on tonight, my usual time at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But I wanted to really talk about, I was in a room with Afro Elite and Black Alpha as well as Sage. They hold a really good room, talk about the FBA movement. But I think the nuggets of that particular room, the Twitter space, is basically, why are foundational Black Americans choosing the couch versus choosing Donald Trump or Joe Biden? I think that we understand why Black Americans are moving away from Joe Biden and the Democratic Party. We're finally being awakened out of our slumber. We're finally woke. Shout out to Ron DeSantis. I love just throwing his name in there because he tried to do the Stop Woke campaign. But nonetheless, Black Americans as a whole are now realizing and understanding that these so-called promises or these policies and legislation that lift everybody up has not significantly changed our position. Unfortunately, we're still the lower class when it comes to finance. We're still being labeled as the criminal class, which isn't true. I mean, the Department of Justice, the FBA, they have all of these statistics to show that majority of the crimes are still being committed, majority by the white community. Now, when it comes to particular crimes, there are some crimes that Black Americans are leading according to the statistics, but majority of crimes across the board are being led by white Americans, okay? No shot against them, that's just the information that's been provided. But when we look at the Democratic Party as a whole, now the only reason why Black Americans started to vote Democrat is because of the work of Martin Luther King by the way of Lyndon B. Johnson. We have to understand that Martin Luther King and our ancestors put in the work to get a lot of civil rights legislation passed in order to better our people. And here we are 60 some years all later, and we're still in the same position because those civil rights was not Black civil rights. They were civil rights again for everybody. But the way that things were worded, it seemed as though they were going to help majority of foundational Black Americans. And we understand that is not true. We understand we don't see the fruits of that legislation coming to fruition to support and help us. We understand that we are underrepresented in this country, especially in the political atmosphere, and that nothing significantly has helped us, right? So now you have a lot of foundational Black Americans who are now trying to move over to the Republican train. They're trying to switch sides, so to speak. They're trying to pick their new slave master. And the reason why I say it that way, family, is because if we're going over to the Republican Party, we have the same question that we have always had. We got nothing from the Democrats. What do we want to get from the Republicans? And family, don't pay attention to the white supremacists and the Democratic shields. Don't pay attention to them. Oh, you guys just want free money for doing nothing lazy. I didn't put you guys in slavery. They had all of these racial tropes, knowing the history of this country when it comes to foundational Black Americans and our lineage. They would say, well, you wasn't in slavery. You had the same opportunities. You have the same this, where we have not hundreds, not thousands, but we have hundreds of thousands of racial discriminatory practices that's on Black and white people going to court, legislation, statistics, metrics, whatever you want to call it. We have actual proof of all the discriminatory practices in all the sectors of this government, in all the sectors of this country. Would it be the industrial field, manufacturing field, distribution field, medical field, business, IT, you name it, family. There's been racism across the board. And that's why foundational Black Americans are getting on code, and we're talking about reparations across the board. We already know that cash payments is one of the line items that goes into the reparation package. People have threw up tax-free status. Yeah, that can go in there. But again, family, when people are trying to replace the cash payments by, oh, what about if you guys don't pay taxes. Well, we don't make enough money to a point where not paying taxes is going to be financial beneficial, right? Because take, for instance, you're making $45,000, $50,000 a year, and you're single. So you're getting probably taxed in a 30-something percentile. But when you file your taxes, you're probably getting around 65% of that back, especially if you're a single mom or a single dad. You got earned income credit, you got head of household. So they will kind of try to mix and match and try to replace these cash payments. This is why. They understand if they do cash payments, how significantly foundational Black Americans are going to almost automatically boost their financial standings and how we can create businesses very easily. When you go to some of the Black meccas that we're now recasting, when you go to Atlanta, when you go to Houston, when you go to certain parts of Dallas, you'll start seeing these little enclaves of these very small Black business districts. Now, in Houston, they're fairly large, and I'm pretty sure there's other places around the country that we have these little small Black business districts where Black Americans are kind of gravitating to one area, and we are now buying the businesses and we are leasing businesses, but we're having our own businesses because a lot of us, we're not happy with our job. We're not happy with our job, and that's why we're going to create our own businesses and conduct business with everybody, right? We're not going to be discriminatory. We're going to conduct business with our own people. We're going to conduct business with white people. We're going to conduct business with Asian people, because at the end of the line, it's business, right? It's not racial. Even though when they conduct business, it's racial. That's not how we operate. So when we look at this, family, don't have someone to try to convince you, persuade you, manipulate you to go ahead and vote Republican now, because Donald Trump is going to do something significantly for Black folk. My question is, what did he do his first term? We made the same mistake with Barack Obama, did we not? We thought Barack Obama was going to do something for foundational Black Americans, because, family, I was in the boat too. I was like, yeah, he's not going to do anything his first term because he's trying to win a second term. And if he do something for foundational Black Americans on his first term, then that white vote that he won, he's not going to get that same smoke. He's not going to get that same support. So in the second term, what did he do? Absolutely nothing. What he did was he gave Jewish American Holocaust survivors and their descendants over $12 million in earmark money. Joe Biden followed up and gave them millions of dollars as well. That was a form of reparations for them to live a better life in America. Now, a lot of people will talk about the Japanese internment. We don't even need to go back that far, family. We can come to present day. If you guys are familiar with the channel, then you know where I'm going at. Native Americans. Native Americans till this day are still receiving reparations, right? They tax-free status. If you live on a reservation, you get stipends. They can open up all sorts of casinos and make billions of dollars and basically live free. They basically live free, family. And that is what I'm getting at here. And we get something similar. There's going to be a lot of things different because they owe us a lot more because of the work that we put in. And a lot of people believe that because of slavery and the torture and the dismemberment and the rape, money can't compare that. But money can make it a whole lot better. Then some people, again, equate, well, you didn't go through those things. Well, we're talking about land loss, land theft, land that was stolen, work that was completed, work that was done that our ancestors and forefathers never received. Just like anything else, if it doesn't go to the father, it goes to the son. If it doesn't go to the mother, it goes to the daughter. So we're talking about transcendent benefits and reparations down to our lineage, what we are owed. This is not a handout. This is not welfare. This is not trying to deal in socialism. This absolutely benefits and reparations of what we are owed. And if we don't stand 10 toes down, family, if we're kind of one of these one political issue voters, meaning that, well, I have a lot of illegal immigrants in my area And I know Donald Trump is going to send all the legal immigrants. And granted, family, listen to me. I understand if some Black Americans vote for Donald Trump. Especially, I had P. Ray Easley on my channel, and she's voting Donald Trump for a couple of reasons. And I understand. And I would encourage her to be on code, hold out, and let's get these reparations. But then again, family, I understand some of us are going to vote on one or two or maybe three issues that Donald Trump or maybe even Joe Biden is probably the better candidate for you. But family, let me tell you this. If we continue to give away our vote for absolutely nothing, then we're going to continue to receive absolutely nothing. Now, a lot of those areas that are being bombarded by illegal immigration, right? They come in, they're taking up a lot of the local jobs. They're taking a lot of the construction jobs. They're taking a lot of the agricultural jobs, social services jobs. I mean, they're taking up a lot of jobs in general. And remember when the Democrats used to tell black folk, oh, the illegal immigrants are not taking your jobs. They're doing jobs that nobody wants. I want you to start looking at your municipal centers. I want you to start looking at your aldermen, your city council members. A lot of those jobs within the courtroom, a lot of those jobs within the city. I want you to look at those jobs and tell me, who do you see? Who do you see being replaced? Who are now having these jobs at the local grocery store, the local corner store in your area? And then I want you to look at the amount of people that are being bused, that are being flown, that are being driven, dropped off in your neighborhood, and how your neighborhood and your communities are changing. Not only the faces of your community are being changed, but the culture of your neighborhood are being changed. And the reasons why. Unbelievably so, this work has been done by the Democrats. And this is why I tell black Americans, the best party for us is no party. The best party for us is no party. We continue to believe, oh, you know, our ancestors, they died for us to vote. And no, family, they died for us the right to vote. Okay, and the only way we can show our power, and you may take this the right way that I'm giving it. The only way we can show our power is to be a monolithic voting block where we stand 10 toes down on reparations. And if neither party is offering reparations, then neither party gets the black vote. They're doing all sorts of things to get the black vote. I just saw Donald Trump, and this probably about a week or so ago, or maybe within a week. He was, where was he at? Alabama, Atlanta, Georgia. He was somewhere where he had these black unknown rappers. Okay, he had these black unknown rappers to go up there and speak on his behalf. And they was on the Trump train. And if you notice, family, once again, they continue to disrespect black Americans by going and get people who are not politically savvy, who do not have the political mouthpiece, who knows really nothing about politics at all. They're going to get rappers, comedians, actors. They never speak to anyone who is grassroots and who is a reparationist. They don't want to talk to people like that because they already know where the conversation is going to go. They already know this. They don't want to have that conversation because they know they're going to have to start producing results. And so, family, I know a lot of you're tired of the Democratic Party, so you want to go try out the Republican Party, which our family have already been Republicans. Because again, family, let me refresh your memory. Before Lyndon B. Johnson, over 90% of black Americans voted Republican. We were mostly Republican because we are conservative by nature. We are a type of people who wants to do for self. We don't want handouts. But because of mass incarceration, because of mass incarceration, they took the black male out of the home and replaced the black male with welfare. They replaced the black male with food stamps. They replaced the black man with Goodman cheese. They replaced the black man with powdered milk and powdered eggs and farina. And they subsidized that for our black women and told our black women You can't have nobody living with you earning any sort of paycheck besides your kids, okay? Besides your kids bringing in money, or we're going to cut off your welfare. So what have a lot of our black young ladies have done? They say, well, I don't want to get a full-time job because then the government will tell us that I'm making too much and I'm not going to get my government assistance. I'm not going to get my Medicaid. I'm not going to get my dental care. And it's just me and my kid, or me and my 2 or 3 kids. And some of our males are out there with the same situation. But it's a majority of a lot of our ladies, a lot of our beautiful black American ladies. And again, family, it's very hard for me to succumb and not understand reality. I understand why a lot of them are like that. I understand why a lot of them had that mindset, because there's not a lot of viable, financially stable black men that are marrying black women and bringing in an additional paycheck. And now we have this whole internet craze about these traditional ways that really stopped in the 70s. Black women have always been at work more so than any other group of women. So I don't know where this is coming from, so to speak. But black women have always been at work, and we have always worked as a team. Then if a black man has sufficient funds for the black woman to stay at home, but family, we have to be realists here. A lot of black men are not making over $50,000 a year. So if you want to live a very comfortable and plush life, then it needs to be more than one paycheck. That's number one. Now, if you want that man to go out there and have 2 or 3 jobs, just understand he's not going to be at the house. He's going to be at work. So you might want to pick up a little side hustle, a part-time job, or until you guys can get together and build your own business. Okay? It just depends on what you want to do. And there's a lot of our black sisters who want their own careers. Okay? But we have to be in partnership, so we don't have a lot of our people depending on the government. We can't have a lot of people depending on the government. And then second thing, when it comes to the job industry as a whole, we have to start pushing our kids into IT, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, robotics, STEM. This is where America is moved. It's not moving. America has moved technological. Now we have AI. We have Copilot by Microsoft. We have Gemini by Google. We have ChatGPT by ChatGPT. These are these AI software that's basically doing all of the very small functions that people used to do. Remember, you used to call in and you can just talk to somebody, depending on your age. Now you have to go through 45,000 prompts in order to get someone on the phone. And sometimes they tell you to leave a message and then you have to come back. So family, when we look at these things, we have to understand how the political climate directly involves itself in the social climate and how that affects our people. We have a lot of our people out here, family, flopping in the wind and just kind of following the influences of social media. They're kind of following the influences of their household. They're following the influence of their friends and not really making a conscious decision politically on the voting base of foundational black Americans and what's truly beneficial. And what's truly beneficial. And we understand what's truly beneficial, family. I see your comments. I'm driving. Got some bad weather here. I see I have, let me see. Good evening, brother. Hey, B1 to everybody that's joining me here. Like I said, it won't be a broadcast tonight. I'm coming from Dallas, heading back home. But when I look at this, and I'm going to continue I'm going to try to get some more interviews to get different perspective, because as we close in here on the presidential election, it's very, very vital that black Americans be on one accord. And I hate to say this, family, unless Donald Trump or Joe Biden are talking cash payments, reparations, then we don't have a conversation. Don't call black politicians into the office to have a conversation when we're not talking about the money. This is transactional. This is transactional. Black Americans' vote is for sale. This is transactional. Just like every other group of people, Asian Americans told the American government, we're going to opt out of voting unless you make us a protected class. That's what they said. They said Asian Americans, this was during 2021, during the whole COVID hype. Asian Americans said, Asian Americans are being harmed at a higher rate than any other group. And we need legislation to protect us, to scare people if they harm an Asian American, that they're going to go to jail and be incarcerated for a long time, right? The federal government listened to Asian Americans and passed the anti-Asian hate crime bill. Now, they put it under the guise, okay, hopefully you guys can still hear me. They put it under the guise of the anti-hate crime COVID bill. But when you read the legislation, the only group of people they're naming are Asians. And I'm not hating on that. But part of the reparations package, okay, not only cash payments, not only a tax-free status, but an anti-hate crime bill for Black Americans as well. Okay? And these are some of the things that our people need. These are not some of the things that we want. And when it comes to a race soldier with a badge harming a Black American, we need for that qualified immunity to be wiped away. We need for that qualified immunity to be revoked. There was a Black judge, I believe in Mississippi, that stated that qualified immunity for law enforcement was unconstitutional. I wonder what that Black judge is going to do. I wish I knew his name so you guys can look it up. But he stated that qualified immunity for law enforcement agencies is unconstitutional. Because here's the thing, family. You get pulled over. A police get your address wrong. He barges in. He tell you get out your car. He shoots you. You're unarmed, unprovoked. You didn't resist arrest, even though they would tell you, stop resisting arrest, put your hands behind your back, etc., etc., etc. That's what they would tell you. And they shoot you unjustly. They get out of jail free card. They get fired. They get laid off. They get suspended. Very, very few police officers get jail time when they kill an unarmed Black person unjustly. The stop, unjust. The search, unjust. The killing, inhumane and unjust. But that is what we get each and every time. So family, I'm encouraging you guys, just to weigh your option here and truly understand what I'm getting at. Because if we continue to vote for nothing, we're going to get nothing. And you see the amount of illegal immigrants that they have allowed, that they have flown inside of the country. Don't forget, last year, November, Joe Biden flew in 335,000 illegal immigrants. He flew in 335,000 illegal immigrants. And I'm not telling you to jump the train from the Democrats and jump the train for the Republicans. Absolutely not. Here's the thing. All these political groups got lobbyists. All these political groups go through their lobbyists by the way of their congressmen. And they're asking for tangibles. They're asking for benefits and support and community funds and earmarks. They're asking for protection hate crime bills. They're asking for legislation. All of these groups, whether it be whites, Asian, Hispanic, LGBTQ, we're the only group who continue to get nothing, but we continue to vote. We continue to vote. And here's the thing. Sometimes I'll get comments from non-Black people, whether it be white, Hispanic, or Asian, and they'll say, why do Black people keep voting if you're not getting anything? And they will name the legislation that supported and helped them out. And listen to this, family. Talk to some of your white associates, your white friends, your white partners, whatever it may be, and talk to them how they receive their wealth. Talk to them how their family has been here 100, 200 years, and how Homestead has benefited them, where the government was allowing white people from Europe, these peasants from Europe, to come to America, go and populate the land for totally free, or for $1. They were selling acres of land for $1. This lot of land is 10 acres, $1. This plot of land is 30 acres, $1. This plot of land is 50 acres, $0. We just need somebody here. We need someone to populate it. We got land, they took that land. We got land. They said, oh, you owe back taxes. Well, how much is my back taxes? And granted, family, this is in the early 1900s, the late 1800s. They saying $3,000. Now today, you could probably gather up. You could probably sell a couple of things. Probably borrow a couple of people, get $3,000. But back then, $3,000, they took their land. They took their houses. So we're talking about land theft, and they used it. They were back on their taxes. So that's why they took their land. These were all excuses, family. These are all the things they did to steal the generational wealth that our family was trying to build for us. For no reason and for no reason at all, Black Americans are the only group. I know this is a wild claim. Black Americans are the only group till this day are still talking about generational wealth. You know why? Asians don't talk about generational wealth because they have it. Why don't white people talk about generational wealth? Because they have it. Why don't Hispanics talk about generational wealth? Because they're building it. But see, family, we already have generational wealth, but it was stolen. We already have generational wealth because they didn't give what they owe by the form of reparations. So that's why we need to stay on one accord with this. If anything, the only thing I'm stating is, when we speak about being a monolithic voter, yeah, this is the one thing we need to be monolithic on. This is the one thing we need to be on code. This is the one thing we need to be unified on, is being very monolithic about our vote. That is what we need to do. But you'll have people, okay, and that's fine. You go out, you do what you want, put your vote where it needs to go. I don't know. But I just know the current method, the way we've been responding when it comes to voting and political issue has not been beneficial. It has not worked. It has not helped us, not one iota. It has done nothing significantly for us. So why we keep doing it? Why we keep doing it? Why we keep expecting for change if the Democratic or the Republican Party say, hey, Black Americans, we're going to do this for you. We're going to give you your reparations. We're going to give each foundational Black American $5 million. We got some other things on the ticket. Because here's the thing, really, let me be real. I'm going to be real for you, fam. I'm going to be real. Reparations is the package. But I promise you this. A lot of people in the Black empowerment space, if the Democrat or Republican Party comes around and state, we're going to give every foundational Black American $5 million. And with that $5 million unattained cash payment, and we're also going to give you non-tax status. We're not going to even tax the $5 million. I promise you're going to have over 40 million Black Americans vote for whatever political party who presents that reparations. Even if it's not getting the land, because the land is very important, family. Land is very important. Now, if I had to choose three things when it comes to reparations, it would be, of course, the cash payments reparations. It would be the land laws, land grants for the land to be re-granted back to foundational Black Americans. And believe it or not, when it comes to justice, family, because a lot of our people, a lot of our young Black men and women, a lot of our older Black men and women are being killed indiscriminately by race soldiers with badges. Wipe away qualified immunity. Take away qualified immunity. No more get out of jail free card. No more. No more. So if I had to pick three things that were there, I know a lot of people love the tax-free status, but when it comes, if we had to pick three things, that would be the three things that I would pick. I see I got my buddy Bulls fan in here. Remnant reanimated. Somebody said United States American president. Someone say there is no reward or prize to fix the terrible conditions in Black society or Black neighborhoods from Joe Biden and Donald Trump. So the council let other groups of people, migrants, vote for them. I agree with that to a certain degree, because you said there is no reward or prize to fix the terrible conditions in Black society or Black neighborhoods from Joe Biden. Okay, I get what you're saying. A lot of people, family, believe that money, they believe that money is not going to solve the issue. Okay, they believe money is not going to solve the issue, and then you have people kind of dwelling within those racial tropes. Oh, black America, they're just going to buy cars with rims. They're going to buy Gucci and Fendi. Okay. Some of them are going to do that. Some of them they're going to go blow the bag. They're going to go blow the bag. And that's their choice if that's what they want to do with their reparations. And I think we need to stay out of that conversation. Oh, wow. Yeah, that just fell off, family. So I'm going to hold it like this. I know we're going to get a little close and personal. And that's perfectly fine that Foundation Black Americans do whatever they want with their money. That is perfectly fine. But here's what they're scared of. We're going to finish what our ancestors was trying to build. We're going to continue to build black business districts and black Wall Streets. And we're going to build black meccas, and we're going to build business around the world. We're going to build businesses around the world. This is what we're going to do, and this is what they're going to afraid of. Because right now, they love the fact that we have to drink from the white supremacist tit. We have to drink from the white supremacist tit in order to get crumbs from the master table. And here's the thing, we don't really get crumbs from the master table. Let me see if I can get this back on. Bear with me, family. Bear with me. We don't even get that now. Because I'm a product of welfare. I'll tell the truth. I'm a product of welfare. And without it, I probably wouldn't be here today. I used to love me a nice grilled good McCheese sandwich. I sure did. When you guys are thinking about voting, I don't want you to, it's going to be in the conversation of what has the Republican Party done, what has the Democratic Party done. Don't even ask yourself that question because you already know the answer. Nothing. I want you to ask yourself this, and then if you don't know the answers, go and research it or look at the 1,000 videos I didn't put out. What have the federal government, the Republican Party, Democratic Party, done for other groups of people in this country? As a matter of fact, present day, look what the federal government, by the way of the Democrats, have done for illegal immigrants. I mean, here's the thing, family. You need a job. You need an appointment. I mean, you need a job. You need an apartment. You need a house. Go through south of the border. Come through as an illegal immigrant. Pretend like you don't speak English. And if you're dark skinned like me, pretend like you're Haitian, speak a couple of French words, you can use an app while you're speaking to them. I do not know English. And I guarantee, family, you'll have probably a stipend of $2,000 a month. They have your apartment. Or you can use the squatter laws in America, which a lot of the illegal immigrants are doing. You can do that. In certain states, Chicago, New York, Colorado, Oregon, Washington, you'll get stipends, you'll get an apartment, you'll get a shelter. All these places are giving out all sorts of benefits, support, monthly payments. They're living in luxury condos, they're living in houses. Now, don't get me wrong, some of them are living in shelters. But listen, even if they can't find an apartment for you or a luxury condo, they'll just move black people out their neighborhood community centers, their neighborhood churches, and they'll make sure you have a place to live. They'll make sure that you have money in your pocket. They'll make sure that you have a work permit. They'll make sure they put you with a good job placement program. They're going to make sure you have everything you need so you can benefit and do better than black Americans. So don't let no illegal immigrant, no matter what color, what race, what ethnic, tell you they came over here with 10 cents in their pocket. Then 2 years later, they have 3 restaurants, or they have 3 convenience stores, they have 3 gas stations, they have 5 7-Elevens. No, family, it doesn't work that way. No. It doesn't work that way. Now we're seeing all the support, all the same programs from the civil rights, from affirmative action, which black people didn't benefit from affirmative action. Mostly white women use affirmative action. We didn't benefit from DEI. Okay? We're seeing that all these other people have benefited from legislation that our people have fought for, our people have died for. We marched and we protest. These are the people who are receiving the benefits. These are the people who are receiving the rewards of our hard labor. These are the people. So with that being said, family, This is why foundational Black Americans who are on code are voting couch 2024. And there's going to be so many people, black, white, and indifferent, that's going to come out and say, how do you expect to get anything? How do you expect to get anything if you don't vote? And then you just tell them, I voted from the last 4 or 5, however times you voted. I voted the last 3 elections, and nothing has changed for Black Americans. That is what you tell them. And you tell them what their group have received. And that's why it's so important that you guys tune into the Black media and really get the lowdown, right? I always shout out all the Black media because they all have great content, whether it be Afro Elite, Black Alpha Network, Tariq Nasheed, Philip Scott, TD Hip Hop Media, Kid Gravity. There's so many family that's out there that is spitting hot fire about the reparations movement and Black empowerment. TBA, the Black Authority, Professor Black Truth. Okay, can't forget those juggernauts in the game. And they have been on code for the past 10, 15, 20 years, putting out the information for our people to wake up and understand the circumstance and the political climate that we're currently in. So when we state that we're voting couch 2024, it just means that we're not voting because nothing is on the table for foundational Black Americans. Why would we continue to do the same thing over and over and over again, thinking that we're going to receive something that neither party stated that they were going to grant us in the debt that they owe to foundational Black Americans? Because you can have Joe Biden at all the HBCUs, and Joe Biden at the HBCU stated, America doesn't love Black people. This is what Joe Biden said. America doesn't love Black people, doesn't like Black people. Why is that, Joe Biden? Was that because of the mass incarceration 1994 crime bill that you curated and had Bill Clinton to sign? And people were talking about that Bill Clinton is the first Black president. I don't know whoever came up with that trash. That was ridiculous. Bill Clinton is not the first Black president. Shit, Barack Obama is not the first Black president. Barack Obama is not the first Black president. Why am I saying that? Well, let's look at his lineage. Barack Obama's father is from where? Kenya. Okay. Barack Obama's mother is from where? And she's white. From where? Kansas. He grew up part of his life in Indonesia and Hawaii. So one, not a foundational Black American. His lineage doesn't stem from the slave fields of this nation, number one. The number two, Barack Obama didn't have a Black experience in America. Indonesia and Hawaii? No, ain't no Black experience. You didn't, if you were in Alaska, they would tell you the lower 48, or if you live in Hawaii, the upper 48, whatever they call it. But he didn't have that experience, family. So we never truly had a foundational Black American who's become president, right? Because if we did have a foundational Black American president that's on code, we would have had our reparations 10 times over. He would have understood that I got one chance to get this right. Got one chance to get this right. And I'll tell you this, the political party that grants reparations, which is a debt that's owed to foundational Black Americans, I can see Black Americans voting for that political party for the next 60 years. But until then, family, I'm just going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit on the couch. I'm going to eat hoo-hoos and ha-has and donuts. And I'm going to watch a movie. I'm not even paying attention until I hear the word rep. Oh, representative. No, I'm not. No. Reparations, then we're listening. And don't let them fool you with reparations that reparations is 20% discount on all your items at Costco. Because it's coming, family. They're going to try to use the trick bag to encourage Black Americans to vote for either political party. And the reason why you see a lot of people in the Black empowerment space speak mostly about Democrats, because this is the political party who comes to Black American and plead with us about us voting for them empty-handed.